Um, and those in the audience, I welcome each and every one of you. I first of all want to apologize for my tardiness. I had some uncontrollable circumstances. Last night I had to sleep in the airport in Minneapolis due to the fog. My flight was supposed to be in time for me to make it to tribal council meeting, but the fog didn't clear until we were able to leave Minneapolis at 9 o'clock our time. I do want to share with tribal council at our Lake Creek meeting. When we proposed those resolutions for calling for the resignation of the chairman from NCAI, I was asked to pursue the coalition of large tribes, which I did, and that's where I went on Sunday. They had their quarterly meeting. It was held in Las Vegas, so I flew out Sunday night. Monday morning we had the meeting, and they did a selection of officers, and I was nominated by the Rosebud Sioux tribe, seconded by the Navajo Nation, to seat me as the vice chairman of the coalition of large tribes. So that's something that I'll be sharing today, requesting a supporting resolution for that. And as soon as they selected the officers, then I told them I had to get home, so I flew out, and like I said, I got stuck in Minneapolis due to the fog. So at this time, I'll call this meeting to order at 13:21. And I was asked by the Wakpamni District representatives to ask Mr. Milo Yellowhair if he would do the opening prayer and the welcoming.
Hokahe, Haleon Petuki, Tona Hiponi, I Yushkan and Pilkonisa. But again, I'd just like to say thanks for all of you for coming out here today, and that the word of encouragement is also to always remember that we're not here by ourselves. We're here as a 34,000 member tribe living on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and I dare say pretty close to 70,000 people who are carrying Oglala blood throughout the United States of America and elsewhere around the world. So again, also we want to remember those people who are serving in the military, who are standing in the way of disaster. And so again, we want to say that. And again, also want to say thank you to all the people who are first responders and people who are working to alleviate the problems of flooding that we have on our reservation today. But you know, water comes to water the soul, and that's what we're asking for, because many wakam, that's a holy water that is coming to our reservation and making sure that we have something to grow from. If it tells us that we must, if it's going to disappear and come back to life, then that's what we're going to do, because we are part of the creation, and we're going to be part of the future of this reservation through the blessing of the water that we have on this reservation. So again, I want to say thanks to all the elders that are coming here, and also we want to say thanks to all the people that have attended this meeting and being part of it and what we're doing out here. And we are fully aware of all the problems that we have as a nation, but we're going to continue with it, because we can only move forward if we all go it together. We can only do it together if we stand together and to hold hands and to recognize each other. And most importantly, we have to respect each other and our visions and our purposes in life. Then again, all these 9 districts that we have, 52 communities across this reservation are looking at you for direction and to set the goals that how our people can live into the future. And we want to say thanks to all of the administration of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the executive board, and all of the individual council people that are coming from all the different districts. We want to say welcome to all of you, and Godspeed, God willing, and that we will be all a happy and great nation as we walk towards that day. So thank you very much again, and I hope that's good encouragement for all of you.
Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Jim Minks. Garfield Apple.
Here.
Glenn Gibbons. Lydia Bearkiller. James Cross. Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Here.
Jackie Sears.
Here.
Vincent Tulance.
Here.
Craig Dillon. Cora Whitehorse.
Here.
Valentina Merdanian.
Present.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Here.
Bo Little White Man.
Here.
Chancey Wilson.
Here.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
Randy Laisbed.
Here.
Richard Greenwald.
Here.
Nikina Mills.
Here.
Robin Tapio.
Present.
We have Dwayne Yellowhawk and Valerie Janice excused.
Present, 1 absent, 2 excused. We do have a quorum. Anybody here for the Ethics Committee? The Secretary did ask, there's a sign-in sheet over here at this table, if you can go and sign in over there. Councilwoman Sears, did you have something?
Yes, I want to welcome everybody here in Wakbamani District, and we appreciate the President calling the meeting here. And thank you to the Wakbamani District out here on the eastern side. We're really glad to be out here today. And that was a wonderful meal. I just loved that meal. I have 2 things from Wakbamani District that I need to 2/3 on the agenda from our district. The first one is to approve our elections, district elections. So I make that motion.
Okay, got a motion. Second by Councilman Tulance. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons. Lydia Bearkiller. James Cross. Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbed.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikina Mills.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
Okay, I have one more, and it's to add on a district member that wants to address tribal council, and it'll be Wilma Standing Bear, and that's my motion.
Got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please. Do
How are we
you,
going to handle that, Chair?
I mean, are we gonna need to take action on?
I don't know, that's why I wanted to get her on the agenda.
Okay, well, we do got a motion and a second. We'll just 2/3 her onto the agenda. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross. Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears.
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbed.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, unanimous, motion carried.
Thank you, Council.
Councilman Wilson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have two resolutions that we need a two-thirds for Medicine Root. And the first one is a resolution of the Medicine Root District Executive Board approving to set up an East Side Command Center for any natural disasters or emergencies no later than April 30th, 2019. With that, I so move.
Got a motion? A second by Councilman Little White Man. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon, Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
18 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next one is resolution of the Medicine Root District Executive Board for 2019 March flooding disaster. The following roads needs immediate remediation to allow safe access for propane delivery, bus access, and for medical purposes. American Horse Creek Road, North Route Housing, Kyle Housing, Potato Creek Housing, and BIA 21 on American Horse Creek Road. With that, I so move.
Got a motion? I got a second by Councilman Jumping Eagle. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Is that it, Mr.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Apple?
I have Dwayne Yellowhawk who can't get out of his house, but he would like to be considered in this meeting through a phone. So he's on here now. Is that acceptable to the council?
Update, just, I would say secretary election. Motion to add on.
Mr. Zephyr, can you come up here, please? Or, I'm sorry, you have a microphone. We have Councilman Yellowhawk on the line. He's surrounded by water, so he can't get out of his residence. Will he still be considered a voting member?
No, sir. We have no policy for telephonic members to participate.
Okay, so we can just keep him on the line and he can listen in, I guess.
She said it's up to us.
Say again?
On certain issues that may come up during a council meeting, I would like to express my opinion and concerns and support or not support. So that's where I stand in that. But I am well aware of the things that are coming forward.
Councilman Whitehurst?
We actually don't have a policy against it, and I would make a motion that we allow Mr. Yellowhawk to be present telephonically due to the extenuating circumstances.
I got a motion and second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Oh, good, thank you.
to let Dwayne on the council
Not yet.
telephonically.
Say it, say it.
Yeah.
Chair,
Councilwoman Medina?
Sir, I was part of the meeting, and when it came time to vote, I had to attend another emergency meeting, and I was there and left my vote, but it was not accepted. So, you know, precedent has been set in regards to that. By me not being present there, I wasn't allowed to vote.
Councilwoman Whitehorse?
but he is present telephonically, and you were trying to leave a proxy at that time. But at that time, the message that was conveyed to us was that you were going to leave a proxy. So there is a difference.
Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Yeah.
Vincent Tulance, Craig Dillon,
No.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentino Merdanian,
Yeah.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Leisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
No.
Nikita Mills,
No.
Robin Tapio.
No.
Eleven yes, 7 no, motion carried. I do believe that the people of Eagle Nest District will be grateful that they can still have a voice here. Unfortunately, Mr. Meeks isn't here, so I believe it's only fair that, you know, due to the circumstances, that he do be available to speak on behalf of his people. So, Wopila. Councilman Apple, did you have any other agenda items? Is that everything for the 2/3?
We have our secretary with our land committee. Do we have to 2/3 those on?
If it's not on the agenda, you have to 2/3.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to 2/3 on our resolutions from our land committee. I think there's 3 of them.
Okay, we will do them one at a time. If we can get the secretary to read those resolutions, please.
You want me to read them?
Yes, please.
The OST Land Committee had a regular session on Monday, March 18, 2019, and the following actions were taken. Motion by Valentina Merdanian, second by Vincent Tulance Jr. to have the OST legal rep Russell Zephyr to draft an ordinance regarding the restructure of the OST Park and Recreation Authority program and send the OST Council's 2/3 agenda for March 26, 2019. 6-4, 0 against, 4 not voting. Motion carried.
So I got a motion,
Second.
a second by Councilman Leisbach. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
To vote.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Dwayne. Yes. You have to vote yes or no? Yes. You said yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Yeah.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
No.
Valentina Merdanian,
Here.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Leesbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
No.
Nikina Mills,
No.
Robin Tapio.
Here.
Thirteen yes, 6 no, motion carried. I do want to just clarify something. Councilwoman Merdanian, you voted no on that last one, but yet in the minutes, you were the motion maker for that.
Let me clarify that if you want clarification. I think what we wanted to do was have that discussion regarding that. And I feel that it's important that it goes back to the districts. We need to start empowering our districts because these individuals that sit on there do represent our districts and were selected by our districts. And so that was also part of some of the discussion that I had within the different communities as well. So that's why it was to look at that and to have discussion, That was the whole premise behind this.
Thank you. Next resolution, please. I'm sorry, Councilman Apple.
During the land committee meeting, I asked you if we could take it back to the district, and you said no.
No, that was the Badlands National Park.
Okay, so when I said take it back to the district, you said no.
No, I said that was the Badlands National Parks. That's for clarification. So I said my district already has decided on that Badlands National Parks. And I wasn't going to take it back to the district without any changes to it. The national parks is different from Parks and Rec.
Okay, thank you for that clarification there, Councilwoman Merdanian. Madam Secretary, next resolution, please.
Motion by Chancey Wilson, seconded by Valentina Merdanian to approve by committee and forward on to the OST Council's 2/3 agenda the amended farm pasture lease ordinance that reads as ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council amending ordinance number 15-24, which is entitled Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council recommending implementation of the Indian preference guidelines for the leasing of farm pasture lands under the Agricultural Department, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Pine Ridge Reservation.
Roll call, please. That was a motion? Sorry. Do I have a second for that? Sorry about that, Councilman Wilson. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
See, he said yes. Say it again.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Here.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Leesbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yeah. Okay, 18 yes, 1 no, motion carried. Madam Secretary, next resolution, please.
Motion by Chancey Wilson, seconded by Craig Dillon to have the OST legal rep Russell Zephyr draft an ordinance regarding that there will be no more building houses or giving residential leases for mobile homes that are on floodplains or on tribal grounds. Also to include in this ordinance that the OST housing or any entities residential areas cannot and shall not construct in flood zones, and forward this on to the OST Council's 2/3 agenda for March 26, 2019.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk. You wanna go watch that?
Either that or ask him to
Bring his phone up here. Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Giddens,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Mr. Cross, Councilman Cross, do you have anything?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I'll go with the first one is for Pass Creek District. Then after that's my EB and D stuff. So the first one is it's a resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee of Grassroots Tribe Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee amending Pass Creek District XB Resolution number 19019-01 certifying the 2018-2020 Pass Creek District election results and forwarding to the Grassroots Tribe Executive Committee of Grassroots Tribal Council for ratification. Motion.
I have a motion, second by Councilman Gibbons. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
For the Economic Business Development Committee, I have a resolution. The resolution is adding Lydia Bearkiller to the Economic and Business Development Committee. Motion.
I have a motion, second by Councilman Apple. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Who did put on?
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
One more time, Dwayne.
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Ha. Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson. Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbeth.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikena Mills.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Right, next one is resolution directing and authorizing the Economic and Business Development Committee to move forward with pursuing a new governmental office complex and to bring the formal proposal back to the tribal council for final approval.
Got a second by Councilman Tulance. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller. James Cross. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbeth.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikena Mills.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
The next one is resolution directing and authorizing the Economic and Business Development Committee to explore a new facility for East Wing Casino, including Class 2, Class 3 machines, and to bring the proposal back to the tribal council. Motion.
Motion, second by Councilman Tulance. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbeth.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikena Mills.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
Next one is resolution. Resolution directing and authorizing the Economic and Business Development Committee to develop a financial service code and bring back to the tribal council for review. Motion.
Got a motion? Second by Councilman Wilson. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbeth.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Nikena Mills.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
Resolution directing and authorizing the Economic and Business Development Committee to explore a proposal to develop a hemp production facility and to bring back to the tribal council for final approval and motion.
I have a motion, a second by Councilman Laisbeth. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nakina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Nineteen yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, a resolution, this next one is a resolution approving the general manager of the Playland Casino to purchase 16 new Aristocrats Class 3 slot machines. Motion.
We have a motion. Second by Councilman Tulance. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon, Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Nope.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nakina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, 1 no, motion carried. Next item, please.
Okay, this next one is, this resolution will be handed out to you guys. This 2 items here were taken care of when, Sonia chaired the meeting, so, but the resolution, they're making copies of the resolution, but this one here is, it's a tip. And it's a resolution of Glass Sioux Tribal Council of Glass Sioux Tribe approving the fiscal year 2019 Tribal Transportation Improvement Program Plan, the TTIP for the Glass Sioux Tribe submitted by the Glass Sioux Tribe Department of Transportation. Motion.
We have a motion, second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Here.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yep.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nakina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
18 yes, 1 no, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, maybe Sonia, those that attended the EBD meeting, this one here, it says, there's a motion in the committee, forwarding this on to executive committee. It's a resolution of the executive committee of the Glass Sioux Tribe providing authorization for the submission of the 2019 Energy and Mineral Development Project EMDP proposal to the United States Department of Interior Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs, Division of Energy and Mineral Development, DEMD, to fund resource assessment on the reservation. And this one is for them to assess the feasibility to mining sand and gravel on the Pioneer Indian Reservation, primarily for the use and development of roads and pathways on the reservation. So was this decided, you guys decided to force on to XB? If not, we can take care of it too, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I did chair the meeting that day for EB&D, that was right before the blizzard, I think, hit, but it was just to do the research, you know, on the various parts of the reservation for, like you said, the gravel was the main reason why they wanted to go out, and this was under Mr. Kelly's transportation program. And we did forward it to XB, but if they didn't act on it, I think we should just act on it today.
So I got a motion?
That'll be my motion.
A second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Uh-huh.
Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried.
That's it for the, for my stuff, but, I want to ask tribal council, since, we came out here to Wakpami Lake, you know, to see these nice buildings that were built for this community, by Haynes Investment. And then I do have, 1, 2, 3, 4 resolutions that we just passed that deal with Haynes Investment on and so, but Mr. Haynes is here and he flew in from Dallas and he's leaving today. So is there a possibility we can deal with these today? And then if you have questions for him, I think he'd be the person to ask. You know, so that'll be my request to we can put us on the 4 resolutions after to the front of the agenda anyway.
So you want to move those up on the agenda?
Yes.
Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston?
I don't know, do we want to motion that to move it to the front? And I'll second that.
After the district stuff or before, I mean,
Okay, so we'll just move into the front then?
yeah.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Councilwoman Medina?
The district business takes priority according to the code, and so it should come right after district business.
And that's where you want to put it, right, Councilman?
The districts? That would be fine with me, sir. It'll be before the reports though, right?
Right.
I would,
Secretary, continue with the vote, please. Roll call.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Hello?
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons, Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Uh-huh.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried.
Hello.
Do I have any other agenda or two-thirds items? Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
It's really not a two-thirds, but I think Mr. Cross maybe forgot, but we do want maybe an update on the Bowie store in Pine Ridge. We got a lot of our district members, I think other people across calling just about when is it going to open. We just need a little, maybe an update for the people out there that want to know. So if we could, if Mr. Cross don't mind, could we put that under EB&D? Okay. A Bowie's report. Just even if you give it, Mr. Cross.
Okay. Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Finance Committee has a few items, resolutions. The first one is a resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe amending Resolution 1950 to redesignate wind energy funds previously set aside for future district projects for discretionary activities by the Tribal Council representatives. That's kind of a vague title, but there's more explanation in the body of the resolution, and it's all been passed out. So I'll motion to two-thirds that onto the agenda.
Okay, we have motion, second by Councilwoman Tapia. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
Yes.
James Cross? Sonia Little Hawk Weston?
Ha.
Jackie Sears?
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance? Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse?
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian? Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Yes.
Chancey Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow? Randy Laisbad?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald?
Yes.
Nakina Mills?
Yes.
Robin Tapio?
Yes.
18 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next item, please.
The next item is, it's on the same pot of money, but it's it's a more refined breakdown of it, and also approving the XD action. So it's the resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe amending Resolution 1950 to redesignate wind energy funds previously set aside for future district projects for funding for the industrial hemp plan, including establish the Oglala Sioux Tribal Hemp Regulatory Commission. Motion to two-thirds on.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bearkiller. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
Yes.
James Cross? Sonia Little Hawk Weston?
Ha.
Jackie Sears?
Yeah.
Vincent Tulance?
Yes.
Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse?
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian?
Yeah.
Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Yes.
Chancey Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow? Randy Laisbad?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald?
Yes.
Nakina Mills?
Yes.
Robin Tapio?
Yes.
$17 yes, 2 not voting, motion carried. Next item, please.
Okay, thank you. The final item that we have, and I'm not sure where you want to put it on the agenda, but it's the emergency management program. There was discussion on an adjustment to his budget and an approval of expenditures that was made because of the emergency situation that we had to find a place to allocate the money from. So that's basically a discussion. We don't have a resolution, but Jennifer is available to do the resolution if we need it after we discuss it. So a motion to two-thirds on OST emergency management.
Okay, got a motion to 2/3 and a second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
Thank you, that's it. We only had 3 items for this meeting.
Thank you. Councilman Jumping Eagle, and then I have Councilwoman Tapio.
Yeah, I forgot, Val's excused, but we have 6 from HHS.
Okay.
Okay. And see, I don't know if they're emergency, I know that, but I'll read the first one. So it's resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing Oglala Sioux Tribe Native Healing Program to expend the funds they currently have set aside for the renovation of Building 12 on Siouxsan campus. Motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Second by Councilman Laisman. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next item, please.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the lease between Oglala Sioux Tribe Child Care and Lakota Trade Center. Motion.
We got a motion. Second by Councilman Apple. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo
Yes.
Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
18 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next item, please.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing Oglala Sioux Tribe Child Care Program to purchase the Starlab program. Motion.
I have a motion. Second by Councilman Apple. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon, Cora
Yes.
Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
A resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe demanding that tribal criminal background checks be included in the child care plan. Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second by Councilman Leisband. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
So the last one it's the first one on this paper. It says water issue, but there's no, I don't remember what it was. Secretaries, maybe.
The HHS secretary here?
Oh, wait, there's one more, Julie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this one is, resolution of the Gala Sioux Tribal Council recognizing the appointment of Johanna Jr. to serve as administrative officer for the Health and Human Services Committee pursuant to ordinance number 18-18 as amended. Motion.
Motion to 2/3, second by Councilman Apple. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
No.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Yeah.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
15 yes, 4 no, motion carried. Patrick. Okay. Councilman Apple, your microphone is still on. Councilwoman Tapio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a 2/3 item I'd like to add to the agenda for discussion, and that would be for a secretarial election on constitutional reform. That'd be my motion.
I got a motion, second by Councilwoman Merdanian. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
No.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
No.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Yeah.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
No.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Cora Whitehorse,
No.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
No.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yeah.
Randy Laisbed,
No.
Richard Greenwald,
No.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
No, 6 Correction, 7 yes, 13 no, motion failed. Councilman Merdanian.
Chair, I respectfully request that that special meeting be set up soon here, within the month, so that we can move this forward. I believe everybody has all the necessary documents and should have ample time to review the binders, the email documents, and so forth. And so I'm requesting, Chair, that that special meeting be scheduled within this month.
Okay, I will get that set up. However, I do know that I requested to see the budget of where the, how you utilize the aid to tribal government. I didn't see it in there. Okay, I'll look again. Councilwoman Mills?
I second that request.
Okay, I will,
Motion, second the motion.
so it's, you're motioning and to have me set up a meeting. Councilwoman, Little Hawk Weston?
You know, I don't think that's really a emergency situation right now. I think a lot of our agenda items on this council today are very emergency, and that including the issue with our storm, the flooding, everything else that is going on around us. That is the main issue that we should be dealing with today. Coming over here, I had elders calling me from Batesland area, and I told her to listen today because she said she was going to listen on Keeley Radio, and that's Miss Bertha Conroy. I just want to just let her know that we are going to discuss those issues today, and that is part of the emergency management plan on our road issues. And I really hope today that we can come together to make a decision on how we want to prioritize these roads in the districts, because some of these roads are people that have health medical needs. Some of them are dialysis patients, heart, everything. So I really believe those are the main concerns that we should be dealing with. And this constitutional reform has always been a battle the last 2 years sitting on tribal council. And I just got approached this morning by a district member that has some good ideas on how he wants to address this constitutional reform, but he's going to get back with us at a later time. And I want to, out of respect for our people, because when we talk about the constitutional reform, that belongs to the people. And I'm going to say that today as one of the tribal council leaders. It belongs to the people. And any kind of changes that happen here today with the Constitution needs to go back to our people and let them make those decisions. And out of due respect to the Constitutional Task Force, they were not on the agenda. And we have people right now that are waiting to be interviewed because they have to leave. We need to at least get to those this morning, Mr. Chair. You could work that out at another time, but I haven't even had a chance to read that big, thick binder that was given to us. I was so busy with blizzard issues, storm issues, that I don't know if everybody has had a chance to look at it. So out of respect for us, even though you gave us that binder, Constitutional Task Force, we still have not even had a chance to look at all of it. So out of respect, let us do that. But I also believe that, and I'm going to say it again, the constitutional amendments belong to the people. Let them bring that forward to us so we can act on it. And I think that we need to move forward on the agenda because we have these interviews on the ethics committee. Some of them are leaving, they need to leave. And so we can get to those. I know that on the agenda, Mr. President, we can do that. I'd sure appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second directing the president to set up a meeting for constitutional reform. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Mr. Yellowhawk, restate your vote, please.
Okay, yes.
Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
No.
James Cross? Will you repeat your vote? Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Here.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon, Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
No.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yeah.
Randy Laisbad,
No.
Richard Greenwald, Nikina Mills, Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Yes, 6 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Was there a time? I guess that's just up for me to set up, so, okay. Councilman Cross. I got a motion to approve the agenda, second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
I just got a text from, so when we HHS met in Rapid, there was this imminent threat grant. It's separate from the one that we had. And Tom Allen said he would go after it for us, but we need to act on it right away, allowing him to. It's on a first come, first served basis, and it doesn't retro. It starts as soon as we get it, but I think if we went after and got it, it would help with a lot of the problems we're having now. But, oh yeah, so that's the water issue then, okay.
So motion to 2/3 that on the agenda?
Yeah. We didn't vote on it yet.
Yeah, motion. Do I have a second? I got a second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Clarification, so Mr. Councilman made a cross, it was second by somebody over here. That motion was ready, and then we got another motion and a second, so I want clarification, what are we voting on?
The imminent threat grant, the water issue.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Absolutely.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried.
Motion this time.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons, Lydia Bearkiller, James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Randy, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
I don't think we have enough 2/3. Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh,
Randy Laisbad,
yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
$19 yes, unanimous, motion carried, including 29 2/3 items. The Sergeant at Arms is going to be enforcing 2-minute talk time. Is that correct, Mr.? 2-minute talk time so we can get through this agenda. So we'll move on into number 6, interviews and selection of the OST Ethics Committee. No, it wasn't. Okay. Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, first, we have a resolution, and I'm going to let the attorney read it.
Mr. Attorney. Okay.
Resolution of the Ogallala Sioux Tribal Council of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe certifying the November 29th, 2018 election results of the Wakpamni District. Whereas the Ogallala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123. And under Article 3 of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Ogallala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Wakpamni District is a recognized district of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe, whereas the Wakpamni District did conduct an election for executive committee members and other officers of the Wakpamni District on the 29th day of November 2018. Now therefore be it resolved that the Ogallala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendation of the Wakpamni District, does approve the attached Wakpamni District election results per the Wakpamni District Resolution Number XB 18-12 WDC. Be it further resolved that the President of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe or the Vice President of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe, in the absence of the OST President, is directed to sign the results, to sign the resolution. And those Wakpamni District, these are the individuals. Wakpamni District Executive Board President Mary Tobacco, Vice President Sandy Tulance, Secretary Alice Perkins, Treasurer position is vacant. Community members, Calico Community, all the positions were vacant. Red Cloud Community, Window Yellow Bowl President. Number 4, Joni Marcette President. Wakpamni Lake / Batesland Community, Sandy Tulance, Vice President, and Wilma Standing Bear, Treasurer. Slim Buttes Community, vacant. Wolf Creek Community, vacant. Wakpamni District Boards, OST Election Committee, Sandy Tulance. OST Terrell Commission, vacant. OST Credit, vacant. Motion.
It's not enrollment committee, it's, I meant election committee, it's enrollment committee.
It says enrollment committee. If I said election, excuse me.
Councilwoman Sears.
With that, I motion.
Got a motion? Second by Councilman Tulance. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha,
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Uh-huh.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nikina Mills,
yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
19 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, I'd like to yield the floor. That was the next agenda item, was Ms. Wilma standing there.
All afternoon, Kihana Ishkiana Pechuza, Piala Takuku questions, Abluhacha, gonna pose them, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer them, and I just don't want to ruin anybody's day. But I really do have some concerns. Okay, first, welcome to our facilities, and then, I don't know if I should say we or I, because I don't know who all's behind me or who all wants to jump in, but we have overriding concerns with your employee handbook of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and your employment practices. There is mistrust in the process in the personnel and the personnel policies hiring practices. It instills fear with employees and creates a climate where people are afraid, because sometimes there's no due process and there is a lack of confidence in the system. Our community had been wronged in several instances with terminations which are unjustified, and we have no recourse or what to do. We are powerless. There is mass confusion in the handbook with amendments all over the place. That these need to be corrected. I just reviewed the personnel policies, and it looks like it's draft form, because there's words that are crossed out, some are underlined. So is that a legal document? If it's a legal document, it needs to be cleaned up and presented in a manner where people can understand and read it. There was a recent decision rendered by the chief judge regarding my son, and his civil rights were violated and the due process was ignored. And this was remanded back to the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Human Resources, and I don't think this is correct, as she referred it on to the OST Tribal Court again, and that's double jeopardy. So what do we do? How do we proceed? What can we do? When does double jeopardy apply? Today I have a legal counsel here with me because I'm not a very good public speaker. I could write better than I can talk. And I want her to explain a lot of the discrepancies in that manual and how can we address them. I know you probably can't get it done today, but food for thought, maybe you should review that personnel policies and amendments. There's so many amendments in it. I looked through it and it's confusing. The manual looks like it's in draft form. And then the manual is not employee friendly. It protects some people and works against others. And I want to know if this personnel policies and procedures was ever certified by the cognizant funding agencies, funding agencies. If so, where is the certification? So at this time, I'd like to introduce my legal counsel so she can speak on my behalf and address some of these concerns. And her name is Lisa.
Very quick, Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Just for your information, we have been receiving a lot of complaints and suggested reviews of the policy and procedures. So we have a policy and procedure working session set up for, April 4th at the Justice Center in Pine Ridge. Starts at 10. And that'll just be on the personnel policy and procedures. just for your information.
Would I be welcome to attend? Thank you. Thank you, Council. Thank you, President. Some of the processes that I have a hard time with is your policy and procedure manual just has a few little gaps in it. It's a very good working document as far as I'm concerned. But the problem that I see, and I can talk loud enough, the problem that I see with, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the problem that I'm having right now with your policy and procedure manual is I've gone through all the steps. The final step is to come to tribal council. And I've tried twice, and I feel like I'm being blocked, and I don't know why. So, without getting into the case, unless you really want me to, your Chief Judge, Abrask, came down with a decision. He overturned the ALJ, said that my client's due process was not given. He gave a 9-page decision, a very, very good roadmap with OST and your Supreme Court documents. When I was in court, I was very appalled that your lead counsel was not bringing in Indian law. He was bringing in white law. And I made it known. And I shamed him in court. And if he was here today, I would shame him in front of you. That is wrong. We have enough standing, and very good standing, to be quoting and using that law to defend our people, defend your people, my people. So I'm at a crossroads here. I've gone through all the steps. The only thing the Chief Judge could do is either agree with the ALJ or remand it back to Human Resources. The decision came on the 19th. I was not notified. We have been since February 19th without any meetings or resolve, and when I took forth the effort to set up a meeting with your new Chief of Staff, it got remanded back to legal. I have tried to get into contact with your legal. I finally came down in person, and I wasn't very nice. And I am not going to apologize for that. My time is just as valuable as is my client's time to resolve this matter to put him back to work. Basically, the decision came down. His due process was not given. There's many, many inconsistencies within your tribal handbook and your finance manual. They do not cross over. So, in my due diligence, I showed the court where these inconsistencies were. And it was ruled that the law was, I would have to get the decision, but it was ruled that it was a harsher punishment than what was actually given, or what should have been given, and there was no substance behind why the harsher punishment. Now, I'm sorry, but double jeopardy here applies. You don't get the opportunity, because you didn't win, to come back in and try this man again. It's gone through 2 court systems. It's gone through your ALJ, it's gone through your Chief Judge. I'm sorry. You did not present the case, or your legal department did not present the case. Your department heads did not present their evidence well enough. Mr. Standing Bear should be put back in as director of his program. And I am a little bit concerned about when he does get reinstated, because there's some little hoof prints on your ground here that he gets reinstated, they're coming at him again. Now, if that's not harassment, intimidation, and I was just made aware of that on my way down here, I have not been able to go through the handbook again to adequately watch out for my client. So, but I would like to say that I really do feel that your policies and procedures manual is a very, very good foundation. Your finance and some of the other manuals and your resolutions are very good. They're a very good foundation here. But what I'm seeing is the application from your department heads. They're not following the policies and procedure manual. The I's are not dotted, the T's are not crossed. And there's not a sequential going up the chain to say whether this should or should not go to court. Judge Abeles had asked several of my clients now that I have, along with your legal, if there was any way that we could mediate these cases. Mr. Patton, in this case, Mr. Patton said he did not feel that it was his right to be able to negotiate on this contract, and Mr. Gunn said that you, the tribe, wanted him to proceed forward with this. One of my other cases, Mr. Abeles sat down with Mr. Gunn, the client, and his daughter, and said, is there any way we could mediate this case? Mr. Gunn once again said, no, the tribe wants me to go forward with this. And I'm sorry, but there's been a lot of your people seeking me out in employment measures because I'm not scared to stand in front of you. I'm not scared to go in there because I took an oath to uphold your manuals, your ordinances, and the people of this reservation. And I will do my due diligence in just that. But I have a very grave concern that when I put forth all of this effort in defending each and every one of you, that I'm going to get blocked. That due process is not going to be given to you. You all need to look at this because it could be you. It could be you. It could be you. Some of you calling me and saying, Ms. Londo, would you please represent me? I just got terminated. And I will. But there's a gap. There's several gaps. I don't know where to go. The health or your human resource officer gave me this packet. The packet is no different than the packet that I got prior. It's double jeopardy all day long. And I really wish that Mr. Yellowhawk was here. He was a prior judge, and I think he could back me up. I don't know if he can hear to the full extent of what I'm trying to say.
I believe it. What do the court orders say? Does the court order say put her back to work? Was there order stating that? If that's the case, she should have been probably put back to work. The court order states that.
The chief judge under the policies and procedure handbook only has two options. The one option is to agree with the ALJ's decision and or remand it back to human resources. And once it's put back into human resources, there's nothing in your policies and procedures that says where we go from there. So if they bring the case back again, and they really can't put any more new evidence in because you've already presented everything that you have. It calls for double jeopardy then. You cannot try someone twice for the same offenses. So the only thing that can be done here now is to sit down, mediate this position, and put the employee back in his position, his or her position.
Does the court order state that?
The court order, Mr. Yellowhawk, cannot state that. Your chief judge only by virtue of the policies and procedures can only do one of two things. He can either agree with the ALJ's decision or remand it back to human resources. And unfortunately, your policies and procedures manual does not give me any direction after that on what to do. Other than they're going to hand me this packet again and we're going to go through the same song and dance, which is double jeopardy.
My recommendation at this time would probably be referring to Law and Order Committee for complete review.
I would really prefer to sit down with your Law and Order Committee to go through this case and to use it for your benefit, to move forward with your policies and procedures manual to see where your gaps are, why they're there, and as you go forward, there's always going to be cases, there's going to be things that you can't all put in a nutshell. That's called progression. And as you guys progress forth, and you are a very progressive council, that this would be something that would definitely be a working court document for you guys to use and to go forward with. I would enjoy and welcome to sit down with your Law and Order Committee to be part of on April 4th and to show you
Point of order.
my point of view.
Point of order. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
You know, this being a personnel issue should be done in executive session.
Correct.
And I'm not going to be part of it, so I'm going to excuse myself until it goes in executive or we do something else, because I don't want to be brought into any litigation.
Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
You know, it is a personnel issue, and I think that we should be mindful of that because we're using names. And I think one thing is, as Law and Order Committee Vice Chair, and I think that, you know, I think we've been really getting a lot of concerns about our HR hiring practices, our administrative law judge procedures, grievance procedures. So I think that that is why I think we really requested to the Finance Committee to hold a working session so that we can address the manual. Because the client that you're talking about is not the only one that's being going through this. We have a lot of other ones in the same boat. So what we asked, and I'm not on Finance Committee, but we have been pushing to ask the Finance Committee to do something. We need to sit down. We need to go over this manual. We need to work on it. So, but at the same time, with that issue there, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to just refer that to the Law and Order Committee, and we can address it there. That'd be my motion, just to forward that over to the Law and Order, and we can address it there, this issue that we're talking about.
And that's a second by Councilman Apple.
Yep.
Councilwoman Berkler, did you have something?
I guess I will support that because if this was on the agenda, we don't have no documents in front of us. Where it was out of court, in court, ALJ's decision, I don't have any of that. However, you know, I think having a working session doesn't resolve this problem. These issues are standing and somewhere it needs to be addressed. And we could do working sessions and look at that document and fix it and work on it and whatever, but there's still, these issues are going to be still out there. So we need to find a way or to address them. And if the court dealt with it, and like they're saying, double jeopardy, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same case, same charge, or if it's the same case but different charges. I don't know. That's why I said we don't have nothing in front of us.
Mr. Attorney.
Yes, what I would like to add into that is that Jennifer Bear Eagle has been assigned this case. She's taken on this case from Mr. Gunn. And the remand is set in front of the ALJ April 4th. Is that right, Michelle?
At 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock. So I think we need to let that run its course before it goes in front of any of the other committees.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sears.
You know, I think that's what they're talking about here is the double jeopardy. He already went through ALJ. He went to court, and now referring it back to ALJ again. and I sit here past few council meetings and we change laws right in front of everybody. You know, what's the difference? You know, can't we change our policy and give a direction? Because like she said, it stops at those two processes. And now, where do they go? You know, they've been waiting to hear, you know, what's going to happen next, what's going to happen, you know, and he's from our district, Wakpamani, and they come to us as their leadership to address these inconsistencies that are happening. So, you know, like Lydia said, it's not going to change anything in the planning, because where's he going to go? So my concern is that double jeopardy. So maybe if we do send this back to law and order, and I just hate that, because what if we don't meet again? It puts them on the back burner. So that's another concern. Are they going to address it tomorrow and maybe come out with a decision and leave it up to law and order to make the decision instead of coming all the way back again to council, wait another month? You know, so that's my motion. If they're going to, if they add that in the motion to let the law and order resolve this, you know, because I think that there's no policy, we don't have to amend it because there's nothing there. Thank you.
Councilwoman Whitehorse.
I'd like to yield the floor to our legal office. Lisa?
I think I have to agree with Lydia. If everybody had a piece of paper and a court order and a decision from the from Chief Judge, that everybody would be on the same page, because we're not hearing the whole story here. And when the ALJ, if you guys want to hear the story, you know, outside of executive, but the ALJ only made a decision on one penalty,
I think we'll hold off on hearing that. Yeah. Councilman Greenwell? No, nothing? Okay, well, I do have a motion on the floor and a second to send this back to Law and Order Committee.
Say one thing, since the attorney just brought up that this is supposed to be a court hearing on the April 4th, and so we can't even hear it then at Law and Order. We have to wait till this is done at that hearing, because again, we're going to be violating the rights of that employee. So let's let it run its course. I think that if that's April 4th, that's next week, Russ? Yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah, next Thursday. So I would say that after that court hearing, then I think it should, whatever comes out of it can come to Law and Order. Which will be on April 10th.
Councilwoman Berkeley, you're the motion maker here. Would you like to motion to send that back to Law and Order once it has resolved? Oh, was it her?
I was the motion maker to refer this to Law and Order, but I'm going to withdraw that motion until this gets done April 4th, according to our attorney, our legal counsel. I think we need to let it go through that process. Once it's done, whichever way it goes, they're welcome to come back to Law and Order Committee with it. And they can just get on the agenda. We meet every Wednesday at 10 o'clock at the Justice Center. So you're welcome to come on in front of the Law and Order Committee. And as the vice chair of the committee, I'm going to recommend that happen, you know, once that court hearing gets done on April 4th.
Thank you. Can you use the microphone so it's on the record?
My problem, Council and Chairman, is that I don't know what I'm coming in again for. Everything that this individual was charged with, the ALJ, it was addressed, and it was also addressed by your Chief Judge. There's nothing new. All I got was a letter that we're going to court. I got the packet that I got when we went to the ALJ, when we went to the Chief Judge. I don't know what I'm supposed to be arguing. The same thing? So another ALJ can make a decision? How many ALJs am I going to have to go through? Do I get to take this back to the Chief Judge again for him to look at me and go, what is going on? And make his decision again. And the only thing he can do is either agree with the ALJ or remand it back to Human Resources. How many times are we gonna go around and around and around until they pick apart each one of these charges? Until you find something? Double jeopardy. The only recourse that I'm gonna have soon is to file Indian civil rights violation for my client, and you're not gonna want that.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
I think that we hear you loud and clear. And I think that we, again, as the Vice Chair of the Law and Order Committee, I would like to say that you're welcome to come to the Law and Order Committee, whether or not you feel you're going to be talking about the same thing, you're going to be talking to the Law and Order Committee. So I think at that time we may give direction to it, but at the same time, I'm hearing the legal counsel back there when you're saying double jeopardy, they're saying, so then we don't know what's going on either. So at the same time, I'm saying, go through the April 4th hearing, and then whichever way you come out, you come back to Law and Order Committee, okay? Which will be the following Wednesday at 10 o'clock at the Justice Center. You're welcome to come back there, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Answers, but thank you anyway.
Councilwoman Sears, you're the one that yielded the floor. Is that everything that you have?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on. Medicine Root District. Medicine Root, does somebody want to read the resolution for the command center?
You bet. It's a resolution of the Medicine Root District of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Medicine Root District Executive Board approving to set up an Eastside Command Center for any natural disasters or emergencies no later than April 30th, 2019. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe has adopted its Constitution and bylaws on December 10th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection and 476, and under Article 4 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. I think that should be 6. Whereas under Article 6 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Medicine Root District is recognized district that may consult with representatives of the Interior Department on all matters of local interest and make recommendations thereunto to the Tribal Council or the Superintendent or Commissioner of Indian Affairs. And whereas the Medicine Root District Executive Board may undertake and manage local enterprises in furtherance of the purpose set forth in the preamble of the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Constitution. And whereas the Medicine Root District Executive Board may exercise such further responsibilities as may be delegated by the communities by the Tribal Council, so long as such actions are not inconsistent with the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Constitution and bylaws and ordinances of the tribe. Now therefore be it resolved that the Medicine Root District Executive Board is requesting to set up an Eastside Command Center for any natural disasters for emergencies no later than April 30th, 2019. Therefore be it further resolved that the Medicine Root District Executive Board is in support of this resolution to set up an Eastside Command Center no later than April 30th, 2019. The resolution was approved by a vote of 3-4-0 against at a regular Executive Board meeting held on March 24th, 2019. Certification. Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion and a second by Councilman Little Whiteman. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Here.
Vincent Tulance, Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Makina Mills, Robin Tapio,
No. No.
16 yes, 3 no, motion carried. Next resolution, please.
Okay, the next resolution is a resolution of the Medicine Hat District Executive Board for 2019 March flooding disaster. The following roads needs immediate remediation to allow safe access for propane delivery, bus access, and for medical purposes. American Horse Creek Road, North Route Housing, Kyle Housing, Potato Creek Housing, and BIA 21 on American Horse Creek Road. Whereas the Ogallala Sioux Tribe has adopted its constitution and bylaws on December 10th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Re-Indian Organization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection and 476. And under Article 4 of the Constitution, the Ogallala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And whereas under Article 6 of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe's Constitution, the Medicine Hat District is a recognized district that may consult with representatives of the Interior Department on all matters of local interest and make recommendations thereon to the Tribal Council or the Superintendent or Commissioner of Indian Affairs. And whereas the Medicine Hat District Executive Board may undertake and manage local enterprises in furtherance of the purpose set forth in the preamble of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe's Constitution. And whereas the Medicine Hat District Executive Board may exercise such further responsibilities as may be delegated to communities by the Tribal Council, so long as such actions are not inconsistent with the Ogallala Sioux Tribe's Constitution and bylaws and ordinances of the tribe. Now therefore be it resolved that the Medicine Hat District Executive Board is requesting that the Ogallala Sioux Tribe to do immediate remediation to allow safe access for propane delivery, bus access, and medical purposes for the following roads: American Horse Creek Road, North Route Housing, Kyle Housing, and Potato Creek Housing, and BIA 21 on American Horse Creek Road. Therefore be it further resolved that the Medicine Hat District Executive Board is in support of this resolution to have the Ogallala Sioux Tribe fix the roads in this district. The resolution was approved by a vote of 3-4-0 against at a regular Executive Board meeting on March 24th, 2019. Certification. With that, I so move.
Got a motion? You have a question? Councilman Greenwald.
So my question is does this mean everybody stops what they're doing to do your guys' roads first, or is there a rhyme or reason to which roads are going to be done? Is there surveys being done? I mean, does this allow your district to surpass that and say emergency management? You go out to a medicine route and get their roads done, and then we'll worry about the rest of them whenever we get time. That's my question. I just don't. We have a process right now where our roads and our they're out there doing surveys of roads, and there's a certain amount of people that live on roads. I'm just seeing, is there a rhyme or reason to this, or is this saying medicine route, we're doing yours, and then we'll worry about everybody else last?
Can you clarify that?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that these roads are fixed. You know, there's no do them first or do them last, but as long as they get done, that's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston, and then I have Councilwoman Merdanian, and then Councilwoman Berkler, and then Councilman Gibbons.
You know, I think that I said this morning about our storm issues. At the same time, I really think that our transportation and our emergency management mentioned to us that they already have a priority of names. They always say that. We know which ones are the medical related, whether they are dialysis, heart, cancer. They have a list. They always tell us that. So I'm hoping that today we have the directors both sitting in here in this room. You know, I'm hoping that they do have the list for all 9 districts, and that today, those are the ones that should be priority. Those are the ones that need their roads done. They need their culverts. Right now, their culverts are washed out. I mentioned the elderly lady from this community. That is one of them. And I would like them to be the priority today. They should be prioritized today in all 9 districts. And I have nothing against Medicine Hat wanting their roads to be fixed, because they do need their roads fixed. But at the same time, we have Wakbami District too. We can say the same thing. We can say we need our roads fixed. We've been saying that for the longest time. So today I think that something needs to be passed today that we prioritize these medical related ones. Those ones should be fixed first. And whether the culverts, anything, need to be done. So I want that to be addressed today too, as part of, we waited till this resolution came on because we knew we can discuss it. So we know we can come to an understanding compromise with Medicine Root if we can add something in there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Merdinian?
I commend Medicine Root for having your roads identified and ready to go through resolution. I applaud you for that. However, our president can get the priority roads and request the National Guard to come in, and they have the equipment, they have the manpower, they have the resources to fix these off roads and being able to do it in a manner that expedites the process. And so we're not fighting over these limited resources in each district as to what roads get fixed based upon that priority list. However, if we ask for this outside help to come in through the governor, this can happen, and they can put in those culverts. We can identify that. I know in each district we identified our roads, where our hard points are. We look at Grass Creek, you know, they're going to be, in Little Grass Creek, are going to be out of water for 2 weeks. And they can't get in there to fix the water pipe because they don't have access. These are priorities that we need to be focusing on as a tribe as to what needs to be fixed, and ask for that help to come in and help us fix it. So that would be my motion to address this issue in all 9 districts. I know there's a motion on the floor in a second, but, you know, I hope that the motion maker, you know, this should be something that we should make as a priority to put a request into the governor's office.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sears. I do, just to touch where you talked about calling in the National Guard, I did talk with them. I did express that to the governor herself. That communication was only supposed to come from Emergency Manager Mr. Wilson, to make those recommendations and stuff. So I did stress that with Mr. Wilson as well as the governor to utilize them for those specific services like you just stated. Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Okay, that was my comments too, was waiting till this resolution got on the floor. But we all do. We all have eminent needs in our districts. And like I said yesterday, Pass Creek was pretty quiet in terms of allowing the priority that they had. And we did. Our people were really patient. But as of yesterday, you know, when we heard equipment breakdown, there's no equipment, men are tired, people are tired, you know. I know we need to look for outside source coming in. And all of their roads are prioritized, the main road. Well, we all have main roads that should be a priority. I still have 2 families out there that the road grader didn't even go out since the storm came. And she's elderly. She's a cancer patient. There was no snowplow that even went down there one time. And it's so muddy today that they can't do it. So I think we all have this priority list, and I know that emergency management is working on some of this. And we need to, if we approve that resolution, that's the priority. Everything is going to be set aside and everything is going to go. But what they're requesting, their whole housing area and their whole, every district needs that. So, you know, today I agree that they need help. We need help. But I don't think I could support your resolution just declaring Medicine Root as the priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bearkiller. Before I move on into this discussion, I do want to say that, you know, the time that I had assisting as a command center for the emergency management with this storm, and speaking firsthand with the actual crews themselves and the road grader operators, it was really hectic for us to try to get them out there. I mean, they usually have a routine that they do every snowstorm, and they start and they just make their sweep across the reservation, road by road. But in this case, we had, our ambulances getting stuck, we had our law enforcement getting stuck, so we had to pull them off to go and help to assist those two entities answer their calls for service. But speaking with those road grader operators, they, that was one of their recommendations themselves. They said, I wished we could have just, went with our process or how they usually, or their routine, how they usually do things. And it would have been, things would have got done a lot quicker in a uniform manner. And, all the roads would have been attended to as they made their way across the reservation. I mean, so again, I do agree that all our roads are a priority. I have to speak not just for one community, but all our communities as well as the chairman. And I mean, there's really no way to say, let's start here, let's start there. But I would recommend that, I mean, to the motion maker, I mean, let's just change it. Let's start on the full eastern side with Eagle Nest and allow our road graders, to make their way to the west, because during this storm, we started in the west and we never even really made it to the east, and the east is really neglected, so I mean, and we have a councilman that, he can't even get out of his road right now. So I mean, that would be a recommendation from the president, is to, allow them to systematically form what they're going to do, start on the east side and make their way to the west, just to, balance out who gets, first priority or treatment, and it doesn't seem like they have too many roads, priority out there. And speaking of priority, during this time, it seemed like everybody became, we had so many people come out with their, voicing that they were medical patients. And witnessing this firsthand, we would say, well, okay, we're going to get you Lifeline out there. Then it was no longer a priority. And then, and everybody wanted, I'm a patient. We even, one time we pulled one of Mr. Roulard's team members from the thing, and he went out there because they said it was an old man that needed help. And he got there, and it was a young man about my age. So those were things that we ran into. Those, and it really hindered the whole process. And it took away from actually assisting our elders and actually assisting the true, the cardiac dialysis, whatever kind of medical patients we have, it took away from them. So I think, we just need to come to a general consensus, start on one side, start here, move your way, and like I said, we'll get with Mr. Wilson and strongly enforce, that, we take a strong stance in getting the National Guard down here to assist in the efforts. So we're not just, starting with one. So, Mr. Gibbons.
That's going to be my question. Motion maker, we've got troubles all over. We've got patients all over. I'm okay with moving things to Eagle Nest and coming this way, but our districts, no soapboxes for me, guys. Wounded Knee District stepped up. They just stepped up. They went out house to house, taking care of business. They did roads with a shovel, a culvert. I'm very proud of the members of my district. We need to be fair, and we need the immediate words changed, and everybody gets treated fairly as quickly as possible. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I do understand we got plowed out or washed out roads everywhere. We can't change a district resolution. I mean, this was created by the governing body back home, so we can't change a district resolution. But we've got, we're not talking about each individual house. Them need washed out too. I mean, there's culverts washed out on every creek from Norris to Ogallala, and we realize that the roads are in shambles, but we can't even drive our buses right now and why the housings are put on there, because we can't even drive the buses within the housings. Especially like up north route and stuff, there's no road left up in the housing, and Potato Creek Hill, you kind of washboard up, and hopefully the bus don't fall apart getting up in there. And so we named the main road system is what we did. We didn't do the side roads, we didn't do anything because we know it's going to take time and months, and But we just need some patchwork so we can get at least the main road so the kids can walk out to the main road to get on the bus, because the bus, right now, the buses can't even get into the housings or down American Horse. We just need just some blades to touch them up or something, you know, to get things moving again. Right now, our buses are at a standstill, and I know they are in lots of communities. And we do realize that we've got people that live on the north side of White River up there that they never get help, and they've learned not to trust on the tribe because they can't get a blade across the river, you know, so they bounce out the other way and come out up towards Scenic or Interior or somewhere up that way. So we're just asking that our roads get patched up and fixed so that we can move ahead with some the main roads, as well as yesterday the road department did get 2 D10 D10s? D65s, and put one on the east end and one on the west end to start working on the roads into the houses and stuff. So they do got a plan as far as starting to work to get into people's houses, but we're just asking to get the main roads moving so we can at least get traffic flowing out on the main roads again. So anyway, there's my soapbox.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, I respect Medicine Root Council they have to bring that through to their district because that's their concern, you know, and I know that all the districts are going through the same thing. We've been saying we need our roads repaired for years, you know, and I think that we need to sit down and discuss this further because we can go on all day, you know, with this topic. And I think we need to sit down and discuss it more with the transportation, and because we can't take their priorities. They already have money obligated for projects. So we need to see where that's at. So I'd like to make a motion to send us back to, what ENBD committee where transportation is, so that we can sit down and go through those, because I know that our district too, you know, when I was going to the meeting yesterday in Kyle, that was one of the things they brought up to us was transportation, roads, what are they saying? What are they saying? You know, they're concerned too. So I think that we need to look at all of them and be fair and come to a conclusion on how we're going to address this. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Greenwald.
You know, the only reason why I brought it up is it does need to be fair. It was brought to our attention by the emergency manager that the east side was neglected, and we all heard that yesterday in our meeting. So I see where Medicine Root is coming from. So it needs to be a fair process across the board. The major arteries need to be opened back up. Projects need to move forward, and I think our emergency manager and our transportation department can have that happen, but we need to make sure that it's fair for everybody, that the east side isn't neglected like what we were told happened last time. So it's hard for me to support this resolution because to me it almost us directing them to prioritize that one district when I think we shouldn't do that. So
thank you. Before I move on to Councilman Yellowhawk, Councilwoman Sears, was that a motion to table? Okay. Well, you just said a motion. You didn't clarify it was to table. Do I have a second for that tabling motion? I have a second by Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Mr. Chair, can I say one thing?
Actually, you're on the list, Councilwoman. Let me run this tabling motion before I continue, because I have Mr. Yellowhawk, Mr. Jumping Eagle, Mr. Apple, then you, then Councilman Cross. So I'm going to cease discussion and we're going to run this tabling motion. And a motion to table and send back to EB&D, correct? Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
No.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chauncey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Nakina Mills,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Yes, 5 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next resolution, please. No.
That was all of our resolutions. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Pass Creek District.
I need my reading glasses. Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee of the Glass Sioux Tribe, an unincorporated tribe. Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee amending Pass Creek District XB Resolution 19-01, certifying the 2018-2020 Pass Creek District election results and forwarding to Oglala Sioux Tribe Executive Committee of Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for ratification. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe reorganized under the Indian Reorganization Act of June 18, 1934 by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws under Section 16 of the Act. And whereas Article 6 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution and bylaws provide that each district established under this constitution shall elect a president and such other officers as may be advisable to run concurrent with the terms of the representatives to the tribal council. The president shall call and preside over the council of the district whenever necessary for the consideration of matters of local interest. The various districts may consult with representatives of the Interior Department on all matters of local interest and make recommendations thereon to the tribal council or the superintendent or commissioners of Indian Affairs, and may undertake, manage local enterprise in furtherance of the purposes set forth in the preamble of this constitution, may levy assessments upon members of the district, may expend monies in their district treasury for the benefit of their district, and may exercise such further powers as may be delegated to the districts by the tribal council. The actions of the district council shall not be inconsistent with the constitution, bylaws, and ordinances of the tribe. And whereas the Pass Creek District is authorized and recognized under Article 3, Section 2, and Article 6 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution bylaws, which has its own constitution bylaws, which was amended on November 19, 2002. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee met in a special session held on March 19, 2019, pursuant to Article 6 of the Pass Creek District Constitution and bylaws. Section 5, there shall be an executive committee which shall consist of the president, vice president, secretary, and the treasurer of the district council. The committee shall act on behalf of the district council when the district council at such time as the district council is not in session, and shall have charge of all routine matters which shall arise during such recess and other matters as may be delegated to them by the district council. The committee shall make a full report at each regular meeting that was held, and whereas the Pass Creek District conducted an election on Tuesday, November 6, 2018 for the position of the district president only, due to only one candidate taking out the petition for vice president and one candidate for the position of North Corn Creek Community Chairperson. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee approved Pass Creek District XB Resolution number 19-01 entitled Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee certifying the 2018-20 Pass Creek District election results and forwarding to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Executive Committee for ratification on March 5th, 2019 in a special session. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee approved Pass Creek District XB Resolution number 19-03 entitled Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee declaring vacancies for the position of District Secretary, District Treasurer, Allen Community Chairperson, Allen Village Chairperson, East Bear Creek Community Chairperson, and West Yellow Bear Community Chairperson. effective immediately for a period of 1 week within stipulations for letters of intent on March 5th, 2019 in special session. And whereas the meeting for March 12, 2019 was postponed due to inclement weather which caused the Sioux Tribe to declare a state of emergency, as well as the state of South Dakota to declare a state of emergency due to inclement weather. And whereas the Pasco District Executive Committee met in special session on March 19, 2019 in special session and selected the following remaining positions via letter of intent for the following positions: Pasco District Secretary Steph Kindle, Treasurer Alfreda Lucy Pinky Cordier, Community Chairpersons Allen Village Teresa Wovenhurst, Allen Village Carmelita DeBerry, East Bear Creek Community Anna Haverson, West Yellowbird Community Heather Spotted Eagle. And now therefore be resolved that the Pasco District Executive Committee does hereby amend Pasco District XB Resolution number 19-01 to reflect all officers and community chairpersons as follows for the 2018-20 Pasco District Administration. Pasco District Council President Consuelo Vasquez Means, Vice President Julie Bradwin, Secretary Stephanie Kindle, Treasurer Alfredo Lucy Pinky Cordier. Community Chairpersons Allen Community Teresa Wovenhorst, Allen Village Carmelita DeBerry, East Bear Creek Community Anna Haverson, North Corn Creek Community Minerva Berkler, West Yellowbird Community Heather Spotted Eagle. And be it further resolved that the Pasco District Executive Committee does hereby certify the 2018-20 Pasco District election results effective immediately. And be it finally resolved that the Pasco District Executive Committee does hereby amend Pasco District XB Resolution number 19-01 certifying the 2018-20 Pasco District election results and forward to Oglala Sioux Tribe Executive Committee, Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for ratification and certification. Motion.
I have a motion. Second by Councilwoman Merdanian. Secretary call for the vote, or Councilwoman Berkler.
Okay, I know this came forward and we just got all the paperwork and the minutes, but I guess just for the council, on our district constitution says that the communities are the ones to call the meetings and select their president and their vice president. That didn't happen. And the letter's intent was out there for a week, and the ones that put in, I mean, there was 2 candidates for treasurer, should have been on a ballot, but the chair selected one of the 2. I mean, these are some of the issues that our community people are bringing up, and they're saying, well, how come we're not following the constitution process for our communities? When do they empower the communities to really actually follow the tribal and the district constitution? And me, myself, you know, I took an oath of office to uphold the constitution of the district and those communities. And it should be given back to those communities to select those community chairs, because on Article 4 of the district constitution, it says, the last sentence says, the Pasco District Constitution and bylaws and the Oglala Sioux Tribal Constitution and bylaws, therefore all communities of the district shall amend to the Constitution to consist with the Pasco District in serving 2-year terms, and said elections will be secret ballot for the president and vice president of each respective communities. That didn't happen, and I know one community had a meeting and they brought the issue up of why they couldn't vote for the treasurer and the secretary position. So like today, you know, our people, they're questioning it, and they're questioning the process on how we could violate our own constitution. So today, you know, legally, the president and the vice president and one of the community chairmen are legal, but the power to appoint is not legal. So that's why I don't support it, and I'm gonna stand neutral, because I have to represent all my district members.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bearkiller. Councilman Cross.
One of the community district members want the floor.
Good afternoon. My name is Julie Badwin. I am the vice president. At the time of this election, only 2 put in for the president. I was the only one that put in for vice. Nobody put in for treasurer or the secretary or any of the other chairmen, the communities except for North. Nobody put in. So there was no election on it. We waited and waited. A big old mess ensued. We finally got things settled down. We said letter of intent. Because that's how majority of us were put in this last time. That's how I was put in. And there was no problem then. So how could we have an election when nobody puts in for it? And I think that's what she's contesting. And there was problem from that there. That's just the big old mess that's put behind us, hopefully. So I don't know why she's gonna contest it and go against it when nobody put in for it. I was the only one that put in for it. I turned in my drug test and my background check. Only 2 for president, nobody for vice or treasurer, nobody else for the chairmans, but 1. So she got in, she got acclimated in. So this is where we are now. That's why we went with the letter of intent for people who were interested. And that's how we came about to right now. And we need to be acknowledged so we can help our community, because we've been going through this since election. We couldn't help nobody. We couldn't help anybody that passed away. And we need help out there, and if it's not gonna pass, then what are we gonna do? We're gonna be a district that's gonna let our people suffer some more. So I'm just asking if you can please pass this, because we've done everything. We have the paperwork, everything's on file. If you can please pass this so we can help our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mills.
Can you please come and clarify the appeal process in Supreme Court, that this has already been through that process?
It went to the Supreme Court because they weren't happy with how the outcome came for the election between Consuelo and the other candidate. There was a complaint about the challenge votes, so we said without the challenge votes, that's fine, because the current president would have still won. And they took the current president to court saying it wasn't right, it was tainted, whatever. The Supreme Court came back and judged in favor of Consuelo without prejudice. So we're trying to move on from that so we can help our people, but we're still coming up against roadblocks and we don't understand why. And we're just going with this process that we went through before. It's not the first time this has happened. There has other times when people put in a letter of intent. Like I said, that's how I got in this past, to finish out the year. There was no problems then.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mills, did that answer your question? Thank you. Councilman Gibbons?
Thank you, Chair. We heard at Law and Order, we heard the decision by the Supreme Court. Let's let that district move on. Let's run the vote, Chair.
Okay, I do have a motion and a second. Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
No.
James Cross?
Yes.
Sonia Littlehawk Weston? Jackie Sears? Vincent Tullins?
Yes.
Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse?
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian? Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow? Randy Laysbed?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald?
Yes.
Makina Mills?
Yes.
Robin Tapio?
Yes.
17 yes, 1 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next resolution, is that it? Okay, that concludes it for the districts. Let's move on into the Ethics Committee. Councilman Cross, do you want to call forward Mr. Haynes before we move into the Ethics Committee? Because that was what your motion stated.
Okay, is Mr. Haynes still here? Raise your hand.
Yeah, he is back.
Are there a team here? All right, the Economic Visibility Committee has been meeting for quite some time on some projects, and there was a lot of requests from committee to put a name to a face, and so Mr. Haynes made a point to Tribal Council and to introduce himself, and if you have any questions, I think this would be a good time to address those, but he does have to leave. And so at this time, I turn it over to Mr. Haynes. You got 5 minutes, I guess.
You got 5 minutes and your councilman took up 2 of those minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Chairman, council members, thank you very much for the invitation to address y'all. I'm Stephen Haynes. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've been working in Indian country since 1999. I started by investing in Native American-owned businesses in the Oklahoma and Texas area. It grew into building casinos and then building housing communities and town centers. It went into financing businesses, both agricultural and manufacturing. And I've been doing it on and off with a mix in with my regular commercial business since 1999. I'm currently, or have been licensed with 22 different tribal casino operations in 12 or 13 states, both through either financing the casinos or actually building them. I've also done lots of commercial manufacturing and construction like this facility here, where I act as a developer. Early on in my working with Native American tribes, realized that in many cases they didn't have the startup capital to get something like this built, although they had access to government grants and money within the tribe. So my company provides the soft costs, like architectural drawings and engineering reports and EPA studies, so that we can figure out, where, when, and how to build something, and then we help find the financing to actually build the structures. We are not managers. We don't do management contracts. We're more developers and investors. I'm open to any questions you have. We're unbelievably happy with the progress that Welcoming Lake has done in this facility. It was wonderful. It's beautiful, and I think it's going to continue to grow. We've done a lot of business up in North Dakota with 3 affiliated and Turtle Mountain, a little bit with Rosebud. But I try as hard as I can to stay where it's warm as I do my business. So you might be the last northern tribe I do business with before I retire, or at least just in the summer times. So any questions you have, I'm more than happy to answer for y'all.
Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming all this way again, Mr. Haynes. I think we met you, back in, it was 2014, somewhere. I think some of us council were on the council then, and you came and you, at that time, we talked about a new tribal office for the Oglala Sioux tribe, and then things didn't go the way that we were planning, but now you're back and you're hoping that you can continue to work with us and to maybe look at some type of financing to help build a tribal building. Is that correct? You were saying you look for the financing part of it. Is that what you're you said? And so I guess I'm glad we took a tour of the building here with the CDC for Wakbamni Lake, and I was really impressed by what they have here in the community. Within Wakbamni, we have 6 communities, and so this is really a wonderful, beautiful buildings that they have here, the things that they are planning to move forward on. And I think one of the things that we talked about some of us did attend the hemp meetings in Denver. And I think as part of Economic and Business Development Committee, we really see some good opportunities for our tribe. When you look at the state of poverty that we are in within the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, I think some of us on Economic and Business Development really want to move forward to create some economic development opportunities for our people. And one of them is creating jobs. And I think we looked at some of the things that they had talked about in Denver, what we were going to look at as part of utilizing the CDC with Mr. Raines. I think he has ideas also. So I'm glad that we were able to visit here, and really nice building. So I'm really hoping that we can move forward to work with you, continue to work with you this time around, hoping that things will go the way that we need it to go so we can get something done for our tribe. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Jumping Eagle.
I don't have a question, just a quick comment. Mr. Haynes, it's good to finally see you in person. The past couple meetings we've had, Economic and Business Development, he's always saying, Mr. Haynes are my partners. And so for a while I thought you was a ghost. So I never saw you or nothing, but it's good to meet you. Look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you. It's a choice between you and my wife, so I try to stay home as much as I can. Councilwoman, I just wanted to say one thing. All of this was all done by you. And we just provided some capital and some designs and some drawings, but this was all built by your communities. So, all I do is help. We don't actually build anything. We don't actually get and take the hammers out. We just finance it, and so this is all yours.
Thank you. Councilman Gibbons.
Mr. Haynes, Glenn Gibbons, Wounded Knee District. Are you ready to meet the powerful district? We need you in Wounded Knee. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We'll talk a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Merdanian.
Just a quick question. I know that a resolution was passed in November 2015 by full council to resubmit, and the second page, the third whereas from the bottom, it says that Haynes Investment would be arranging all financing for the government office complex and covering all upfront costs in order to expedite the development process. So my question is there a cap in regards to that upfront cost, just in case that the tribe should be prepared if we can't find outside resources to cover it? That's my only concern.
Yes, ma'am. So it's we can put a cap in. We could do whatever you like. In the case of the first community development, we provided some architectural drawings and some site surveys, and I think it was all of $25,000. And there was an issue with the site itself, and we weren't able to get past a couple of different groups that wanted it in one place or another, so it kind of died of under its own weight. But as you move forward, we wouldn't go and commit to a very large amount of soft costs unless the financing was already arranged. So, while I'm willing to take risks for y'all and maybe put up $50, $100, $200,000 to get it done, I'd only go up 200 or above, or close to 200 if I had the financing in my pocket for you all already, and you've approved it as a council. Right? We'll just bring you the project. We'll bring it as far as we can, and then when it gets to be a very large number, then you'll have to approve it, and the financing will have to be in place.
Thank you. Councilman Yellowhawk.
Yeah, can you hear me okay now?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Haynes, you know who I am. I think I'm the person that always like to get documents to ensure that what you're saying is exactly what it is. you mentioned you did all the businesses for all these tribes and casinos, but I haven't seen anything in writing. You come in and make a presentation without any proper documentation stating and proving that you did all this stuff. I've worked with tribes in economic development and developers. I try to look out for the best interests of the tribe. I took an oath office to protect the assets of the tribe, and this is what I'm looking at. But if the tribal council wishes to proceed with you in these endeavors, I will support them. So I just want to make my statements and let it know my concerns because of my experience and background in developers. Thank you.
So to make you feel a little bit better.
Also, we established what documents to the council members.
Repeat your last part, that last part there, Councilman Yellowhawk.
I request that Mr. Haynes provide documentations on his background. All the places all the accomplishments that you have. I know you've mentioned that the council members recognize the building there where they're having a meeting, but I think in my concern is I got to look out for the best interest of the tribe, and I want to make sure that we get all the services that you state you will, and that's what my main concern is, because I see so many developers come to reservations and you can't back up keys or whatever in the league. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Yellowhawk. Did you have any comment?
I did, Councilman, in 2015, I underwent a vendor feasibility report with a vendor approval process with your nation. I was vetted, took about 4 or 5 months. I provided 2 or 3 inches worth of documents that they went through, your attorneys, and approved me as a vendor. I'm happy to update it from then till now. I actually believe we've just done that. But more than happy to give you my references and a pile of documents to read through. And please come to Dallas or Oklahoma, and I'll walk you through all the places that we built.
Thank you for that, Mr. Haynes. Councilman Yellowhawk, maybe did you hear what he had to his comment back to your questions?
I said what I need to say. I think I do need to have a little confidence in there. But when you come before any body, you gotta make sure that you develop that confidence and you're sure that you can do these things. That's the reason why I'm trying to get some documents. After all, he's a millionaire now, so it's a good idea to provide that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Yellowhawk. And maybe we can even go with the Secretary's office to get you the past dated stuff that he submitted back in 2015, and he just said he'll get you some current stuff as well. Councilman Greenwald?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff might be part of his due diligence package as well. And I think they just went through due diligence again recently and passed our due diligence. I think Gary Roos is also here, and Gary had some good information in reference to the other federal entities that are looking at being part of this multi-purpose building. If we play our cards right, and with the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the post office that's being proposed and some of the other programs that are in there, if we play our cards right, just them entities alone, there may be enough money to pay the building off just with those entities. That's before we even touch the tribal entities that are going to be on the tribal side of it. So I don't think that any investor or anybody would pump that kind of money into a building unless they know for a fact that it pencils out. It doesn't make any sense for somebody to drop $50 million or $25 million on a project if it ain't penciling out. They're just not going to do it. So, but I know Gary will have some more information, and he is working with the BIA and the Postal Service right now to get those numbers, and hopefully we can lock in a square footage percentage for our tribe on those. So.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald. Is that it for Mr. Haynes? Councilman Cross?
Are you done, Mr. Haynes, or maybe can give closing comments or something?
I'm just happy to be back. I recognize some faces, there's a lot of new ones, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes.
I still got, Mr. President, I still got 1 minute left.
Okay. 57 seconds.
Well, I thank you, Mr. Haynes, that was the purpose of Mr. Haynes coming, and it turned out good because we got to come out here to Walk Pomney and see the buildings that they have a hand in. And so, it's unfortunate, Mr. Yellowhawk, that you can't see all these buildings right here. But maybe somebody could take some pictures and send them to you, maybe through text or something. But we'll have some resolutions here. And I don't know, Mr. Haynes will be able to stay here that long enough to answer those questions for every resolution. But I think Rayson and them will be here. But I just want to thank you, Mr. Haynes, for being here. And that was the whole purpose, was just to put a name to a face. Thank you.
Okay, that was it for Mr. Haynes. So now we're good to move into the Ethics Committee. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
On the interviews for the Ethics Committee, I think one of them did approach me, and he had to leave because he had an emergency, because his grandchild got sick and has to go to the school to pick him up, Mr. Dwayne Bickrell. So we'll need to still consider, he wants to still be considered on the Ethics Committee. But he won't be here to give a physical interview. He was here, but he got that emergency.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead with the interviews and the selections. Councilwoman Merdanian.
There have been mention of previous applicants, and they're not on this current list. And so I'm requesting that we give those previous applicants an opportunity, because I'm thinking they assume that their application will remain on file, and where those files are, I don't know. And I know I spoke with our Madam Secretary regarding the applications and trying to find previous applications from the past and so forth, and I know that's been an ongoing search trying to get those applications. So therefore, I think we need to resolve this issue in regards to the previous applicants.
Thank you. Madam Secretary.
To your comments, we did look and we found one applicant in those boxes that we found from the past term, and the applicant is here. And we did advertise through Keeley, through the newspaper, through Facebook, as much places as we can, stating for 4 weeks from the last council meeting that where action was taken to advertise for that. So we have done all the proper procedure that has been asked of us from our office. So it's up to you from here on out.
Okay, so we'll just go right on into the interviews. Does anybody need to take a break? Councilwoman
I was
Little.
just reading the advertisement that went out, and I think that we are selecting 4 positions, right? And then we're going to have 2 alternates. But in looking at the names, there was only 4 that applied. And so if we're going to interview them, and then we got maybe make that decision as the alternate position part of it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Merdanian.
I would request that we go into executive to discuss this because I think it's important that we're able to kind of get everything out there before we hear the interviews and move forward.
Councilman Greenwald.
I think we need to stay out of executive session and not talk behind anybody's back, and let's just move forward with some interviewing.
Councilwoman Whitehorse.
I vote for a break.
Okay, 5-minute break.